Hi, my friends. Frank Weiss from the Cranwell Foundation here today. Um, one of the greatest priests I ever knew was Father Jimmy Cassain. Jim and I were in the seminary together. He was a year ahead of me, my first time around. And the thing that struck me about Jimmy was he was just so real, humble. I can remember one night we had a kind of like a lounge downstairs in the basement of the seminary. We used to go down there, watch TV, have a good time or whatever. And we made a mess. And the next morning, there was going to be a tour of the seminary. Well, Jimmy got up at 6 in the morning and cleaned the entire place, made it spotless. And he was ordained a priest, and he was always there for the people. He loved working in poor parishes because he just loved people. And he was so real and so humble. He learned to say mass in Spanish. He eventually became pastor of a predominantly Spanish population. He was a chaplain for the fire department, for the police department, for so many different Irish societies. And then when I started working at Morgan Stanley, or interviewing there, I heard Jimmy was in the hospital. He was right in Garden City, or right at Winthrop Hospital, or Mineola. And at that point, when I went to see him, he was in a coma. And he had cancer, and they couldn't locate the source of the cancer, apparently. And he didn't make it. But I was able to go visit him maybe 3 or 4 days in a row and just sit with him when he was in that coma. And I used to talk to him. And pretty much I thanked him for his example and for being such a good priest and a good friend, a role model. In the gospel today, Jesus said, listen to what the scribes and the Pharisees say, but don't follow their example because they don't lift a finger to help people. And then Jesus says, don't call anybody on earth your father because, you have a father in heaven, and that's your true father. So I think in some ways, maybe as a church, we've kind of messed up a little bit by calling certain people father. That's part of our tradition, for a long time. But Jesus says, the greatest among us will be the most humble, and that was Father Jim Cassain. He was the most humble person I knew, and because of that, he was one of the most effective priests I ever knew. Just a heart of gold and a wonderful guy, and he really makes the message of Jesus come to life when he talks about how important it is to serve out of a spirit of humility. Okay, God bless you.